This is me, Vera. Hi there. How you doing?
I'm Sam Pierce.
Hey, hi Sam. I talked to you before, yeah.
Yeah, you sure have.
I know, I've met you.
Yeah, how you been?
Good. Yeah, good. This is one of, I do citizen tours, show them what's happening to our county. They're here from the Philadelphia area.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're able to talk to them or answer any questions.
It depends on what you want to ask. You want to know where I'm from? I'm from Mississippi.
He's from Mississippi.
All right.
Yeah.
How many Pennsylvania workers do you have on the pad site?
I don't really know. I'd have to go count them and see, but I got several.
And how many workers do you have totally on the pad? You want to?
I really have to look at my POB and see my people on board list and see.
Can you have an estimate off the top of your head? I mean, don't you usually have about 30 or
Something like that.
something like that?
Yeah, I reckon.
How
I don't
long
really
have you
know.
been here yourself?
I've been up here 3 years.
3 years? Is your family up here or you go back home?
They travel.
Oh, this is EID, Energy in Depth, pro-gas
Yes, I
site.
work for the gas industry.
He works for the
How's everyone
industry
doing?
and he gets paid, and they follow me all the time.
Good to see you. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too.
Yep.
You too. But if you ever want to visit with us, let us know. And then you can follow this guy around, and see what he's up to.
Who is he?
He doesn't even live in our
We've never met
county.
yet. How you doing?
He
Joe
doesn't live in
Massaro.
our county, but he likes to follow us around and write stories and badmouth all activists and make us look like idiots.
Don't get run over out here now.
Oh, I never do.
These traffic, people drive.
Yeah, I
crazy.
know, but I'm so used to it. 5 years of doing
Well,
this.
be careful.
I'm pretty good,
Okay, well don't get run over.
No, I'll be good. Energy in Depth, look them up.
That's what I mean by
How are you? I
organized.
think you're in the car. I just go ahead
Yeah,
and come
get-
out and, if you're like to give one side of what's going on here,
Yeah, you give your side, baby. You give your side.
feel free to email.
You don't even live in the damn county.
Oh, Claver. Oh, MSC. Katie? Katie, I think?
Whatever her name is.
Yeah, I've never met her. I know of her.
Oh, but she just wrote an article in the Inquirer, pro industry.
So what?
Yeah, she works for the Marcel
she's the
Shell
CEO.
Coalition. Yeah, she's up there, yeah. Something, I'm not sure. Yeah.
So you want to give us your 2-minute spiel? We'll listen.
Yeah, let's.
What do you want to know? What's going on here?
Well,
Yeah,
Drilling?
tell us what your
What
deal
you want us
is.
to know?
Well, no one is. I mean, what did you guys
No,
any
well, what's your
questions? Or?
message? Yeah, what your deal?
My message?
Yeah, why don't you tell
All
us?
right. About drilling out there?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You came over to see us. So
Well,
what
I do
do you
like
wanna
public
tell us?
relations work, educational outreach, do that questions, stuff like that.
Reach out.
All right. Well, we're up here in Susquehanna County, northeastern Pennsylvania. There's never been, because of horizontal drilling, hydraulic fracturing, the natural gas, and not up here, but down in southwest PA, the oil, it's a source rock that we're able to tap into now. It's not conventional drilling. We're not drilling straight down into known deposits. We're going into the source rock. We're hitting at an angle. So that's why we have the ability to start drilling up here and tapping into these resources. And, this is somebody's land. They've leased it to the, Cabot Oil and Gas.
So should it stop here? Well, I mean, since it's his property, should it stop here or
Well, the way
go further?
the way they do it is a unit. That's usually, I think, it's like 640 acres. So usually they'll come out, do seismic testing, figure out exactly where the best place to put a well site is.
Okay.
So because of horizontal drilling, they used to have to go here, all over, go straight down. Now they put one well pad, and off one well pad they can put, I believe, like between 7 and 10 wells, and they all go out in different directions.
But so will it go under the?
I'm not sure which way. The shale runs from northeast to southwest, and when they go into that, they want to get it at sideways to break up those naturally occurring fissures in there. So, so obviously they would be drilling east to west, right? Yes. So they're going to cut at an angle. I'm not sure which way we're facing here, so I'm not sure which way these horizontals are going to go. So anyway, the 640 acres, I think, is a unit. Now, obviously, they have to lease. Everybody in that area needs to agree to drilling. They lease their land. They come out. They pick where the well site's going to be to make it the most effective place to drill, and that's start. It's a resource that's under these people's feet, and landowners make money.
So are they going to stop here or are they going?
No, I'm not sure which way they're going. I'm not sure which way the horizontals are going, but no, they wouldn't. I doubt they're not stopping here. If they're coming this way, they're probably going way that way.
So why do you think this is a good idea, this whole operation here? What are the positives?
Positive, economic benefits to the area.
Tell me more about that.
Jobs for people. Obviously, people need to run the rig.
So how many Pennsylvanians are employed in these rigs?
Just yesterday, a study came out of economic development in Pennsylvania. I don't remember the numbers. I can send it to you. Take my card. I can get you the numbers. Absolutely. I mean, we're approaching 1 million jobs, something like that, in Pennsylvania for the industry.
Employed, not jobs. Pennsylvania. See, this is supposed to employ.
Right. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that other people from Texas, things like that. Obviously, there are jobs that are going to Texas like that, but this is a highly skilled job. You don't want people need to be qualified to be working these jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
So if someone in Pennsylvania is not qualified, obviously they're going to take somebody else. But obviously, I know Cabot always tries to source from local supply chain, getting local businesses in the supply chain. I mean, DS Manufacturing used to be a 2-company trucking company before this came here. Now they're 40, 50 trucks I think they run now.
And they're a local company?
Yep. He's from
so the drivers and the companies for hauling the water,
I don't know for sure, but I assume they're all local. He is a local guy, so I assume he's going to be hired local.
And you are from Scranton, right? You're not a local.
I actually live in New York. I used to live in New York. I moved to Scranton. Now I'm living in Pittsburgh.
How long will a well like this be productive?
1 to 10 years?
I've heard 30, 40 years so far right now, the way they're looking. No, not 10 years. I know it's funny, people laugh at that, but there's no way a company's going to come up here and invest $7, $8 million into a well that's going to produce for 10 years. For 10 years. I've never seen that.
1 year it goes downhill.
Really? Oh, I've never. They haven't seen that up here yet. Wells up here have been producing for over 5 years so far.
Where?
Dimick. Cabot's been up here for 5 years drilling about. They have wells that are producing in Dimick right now that have exceeded a year. So that's. I mean, I hate. That's not true. I'm sorry.
It goes downhill quickly
Okay.
after a year.
Okay.
Good luck.
I'm just telling you the facts. Those are production numbers. You can look those up. It's all public information.
So what is energy in depth?
We're a public outreach group for the IPAA, Independent Petroleum Association of America.
Oh, just public. Oh,
That study you referred to, the economic study,
I think I released yesterday.
do you know who produced it?
No. You didn't take a card.
I'll get one from you. And what's your own background? What did you study, or
I went to school
how'd
for
you get
public
into-
relations, and I did a concentrate in journalistic writing.
So you write also? Do you publish?
Yeah, well, I write for Energy in Depth. Yep. So I do some writing for them.
How much water a day is used on a typical rig like this?
No water right now. I mean, the only water
I know it's not
for
water right now. When
Right.
it's being
per well, I'm thinking. I believe
Well.
it's between 3 and 4 million gallons. Does that sound right, Pierre? That's right.
for fracking, yeah.
For
when
one
it's
well,
fracking.
one well total, 3 to 4 million gallons.
For
A
a
day.
year, for a day, for
To hydraulically fracture that well. So in the well's lifetime, $3 to $4 million. Yes, when it's being hydraulically fractured. Yes.
okay.
But how can you say that if you don't know how many years the well is going to be active?
Well, once they hydraulically fracture the well, that water, some of it comes back up. The well starts to produce gas, and then that's it. Starts to produce. They're calling 30 or 40 years right now. This woman said 1 year, and there's already. I mean, they've been here for 5+ years, but they're still developing. They're still producing gas in these wells.
And what do you do with the water afterwards?
yeah. What happened to the water?
Happens.
So they right. So up here they don't have impoundment pits. So the way that flow back, what happens is they inject all that, the water. It's like 4 million gallons. 0.5% of that is additives, chemical additives to for the well bore, making sure it's cleaned out and it's going to produce correctly. And then the rest of that sand. Now, when they inject all that stuff, you guys know the process. So they inject all this into the ground, it goes into the shale formation, it cracks open those natural fissures. Now we're talking silica sand, real, fine sand that holds up open those fissures. All the gas in that area flows into the wellbore, up to up the wellbore, and then to pipelines, to people's houses, to manufacturing like that. So when that water starts to come back up, when the gas starts to come back up, it pushes. I think it's like 50% of the water will come back up with the initial gas. Now that water gets stored in steel containment, and then it's either trucked to injection wells to be disposed of, which is all regulated, and then I know Cabot takes it to contact facilities where it's recycled, and the water is recycled. So they recycle the water, they pull all the solids out of it, and it gets back to a point where they can reuse at another well site. It's not drinking water. They don't, you're not going to drink this water, but they're going to reuse at another well site. So that cuts down the fresh water use. So you're right. So say we take 4 million gallons to fracture one well, right? 50% of that comes back up. So call that 2 million gallons, right? That 2 million gallons gets recycled.
Sorry, how far do they have to take it to go through that recycling process?
Contact facility is, I know the way Cabot runs their operations, they'll put that right in the center of it. So, say they're drilling, all around here, they'll put contact right in the middle, cut down on truck traffic to the facility.
So that's all trucked in and out. The flow back water that gets recycled has to be trucked out and then it gets trucked back in.
Yes, and I believe that facility is on Route 29, more towards Dimmick.
And how many sites does that service, that one recycling
I'm not
facility?
sure.
But like the whole region, or are they many
Not the
of
whole
those?
region.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of companies that are coming forward to start doing stuff like this. I'm not sure if they're just contracted with Cabot. I want to say no. I would assume that most companies can bring their water there.
Does Cabot pay you for this?
My company pays me for this. Cabot is a funder of our organization, yes.
Oh,
So at the end of the day, yes.
how many compressors related to this?
Compressors? Usually sites do have compressors. I'm not sure. This is not a compressor station. This is going to be a well pad, right? Maybe one. Actually, some of them don't even have any compressors on them. They usually have compressor stations. I'm sure Vera going to show you that later. I'm not sure what this site's supposed to get. I don't know the background on it, so I'm not sure if they even have any. A lot of them don't have any.
This is Joe Massaro.
Shoot.
Do you guys follow zoning laws?
Oh, absolutely.
For, distance from whatever it is that you're putting into the ground? And
Oh yeah. Everything. In Pennsylvania, they have setback laws.
Yeah.
So setbacks, from a residential dwelling, from a body of fresh water, from a stream. I'm not sure exactly
Do you
what
know
those
how
are.
far they are? I mean, what that footage is?
I'm not
what the
sure.
laws are?
I'm not sure.
And what responsibilities do the companies take for testing water and air before and after they start operations? And where is that information available?
I'm not sure about air. For a drilling site like this, there wouldn't be a reason to do air around a compressor station. There would be, and I think they do that. I'm sure they do that. I should
Well,
say.
there's a lot of truck traffic, and the dust, even just the dust we're seeing it, that's an air quality.
Right, I would
concern,
agree. But
so-
what's really important to understand about that is it's all temporary. This
Yeah,
is
but it's,
hun-
all I'm saying is, oftentimes in places like this, those kinds of things are done. So I'm just asking, do they do it?
I'm not
even
sure.
for internal purposes, even.
I want to say yes, but again, I don't want to.
Okay, and how about the water and land?
I know for water, what they started doing now is they test before they start drilling, during drilling, and then right after drilling, and then 6 months after drilling, a year, and I think it's 2 years after
Do
that.
you know what they're testing for and where that information is available?
I'm not sure what they're testing for, and I'm not. I mean, is it public information? I'm not sure. I know obviously the landowner would have access to that.
That'd be really good information for you personally to have.
Absolutely.
Because people are concerned about that. What about any kind of biological study of trees, biodiversity in the area, anything else of that sort?
I'm not sure what Cabot does. I know a company called Seneca Resources. Right now they have a lot of development going on in state lands out in Lycoming County. And I know I talked to a few of their engineers over there. What they actually do before they come into an area, they'll set up cameras and they'll track migration of animals through the area and stuff like that, so that they can understand where better to put a well pad to not disturb that. I know Seneca does that. Does Cabot do that? I'm not sure. I've never talked about that.
They consult with scientists in the area.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is not. Yeah,
I
this
mean
is.
about habitat.
Oh, habitat?
Animals and stuff and the biodiversity.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And what other permitting requirements are necessary on private? This is private land. So,
Right.
So what rules are necessary to follow?
I mean, all those
first?
setbacks are still in
Yeah.
place, even though it's private land.
Okay. But are there any other permits where the local authority has to approve, or is it all completely the
Industry?
at the owner's
No,
discretion?
no, no. Yeah. Everything that's permitted goes through DEP. So that's Department of Environmental Protection for Pennsylvania. So it's obviously state regulated. Everything. And the amount of permits, I mean, it's
federal regulation.
Excuse me?
Do you think there should be any?
Do I think there should be? No. I think it's being done correctly on the state level, and I know that every single state's different. So to put a federal on that, I think would be pretty ridiculous. I mean, I think essentially zone out industry for different states, and I think Pennsylvania's doing a good job at it. I mean, I know you come up here, you see. I mean, you're all from Philadelphia, right? Is that what the group's from? Yeah, Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania. We're
We're all
Pennsylvania.
from all over.
Right. Oh, okay, right. So I
All
mean,
over.
obviously, and this is not. I mean, before now, this wasn't common up here. It's interesting. I used to live up here for 9 months. Now I live down in Pittsburgh.
When you say you used to live up here for 9
In
months.
Scranton. I live in Scranton, so in
Scranton,
northeastern
he
Pennsylvania.
means.
Yeah.
Okay. Not
North-
this county, right?
No, I never
You
lived
mean
in
for
Susquehanna
college
County.
or,
That's good.
or after school?
No, after school. I moved for the job. Yep. No, you're right. I work in areas where there's fracking every day. But what's interesting to know about Pittsburgh is that you cannot drill in Pittsburgh because of setbacks. Even that was a political ban. Because of setbacks, the only place you could ever put a drilling rig in Pittsburgh is in the PNC baseball stadium parking lot because of setbacks. It's a political move. No one was ever going to start drilling in Pittsburgh.
So why do you think they did it? If it's a
Political move.
It's
Gives-
just
gives-
political?
Yes, give
Why do you
support to
think
the.
they were signing up leases in Pittsburgh? They weren't going to drill there.
I don't think.
Look, the
I'm not sure what the leases
one
were
of the mayors
for.
in England said he would drill in the local park and it would be fine with all of his people. So why don't you check those facts out?
I'm sorry. What was that?
England,
What about England?
in Sussex area, the mayor said, okay, it's fine, bring the fracking in. It'll be fine. You can lease it. We'll put it in the local park area.
Okay, so what do you-
it is kind of important that cities are actually saying we don't want to have fracking in our local area because you can have people
Okay.
say, you know what, we have shale in Central Park, so we're going to actually put up some drill pads because
Okay.
you know what, we have like 450 acres in Central Park, and if it's not actually dangerous to have it done,
Okay.
there should be no problem with our water system, even though
Do
we
you
have
think
a
it's
reservoir
dangerous to have
nearby.
fracking done?
I think you don't get all the water back, and I think the chemicals
never
don't
said
all
you-
come back up again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They stay down there, and they just did a year-long study in Pittsburgh where at a well site where none of that migrated up to nowhere near the surface. It's a mile down because of hydrostatic pressure and things like that. That is impossible for that
What
stuff
was
to
the
migrate up.
largest fracture?
So you're saying, let's hear it again. You're saying it's impossible for it to migrate up.
Science,
Impossible.
Yes.
What was
Okay.
the, what was
Check
the
out-
There's
largest?
nothing
Check
impossible
out
in
the-
science.
check out the
So you
study.
need
Okay,
to understand
at a
that.
mile below the surface,
There's
hydrostatic pressure.
nothing impossible
Okay.
in science.
What's your
There are
question?
no
What was the
absolutes.
largest fracture that came from that well?
There are no absolutes.
Oh, I'm not sure. They just released a study.
particle
They released that
away.
study last week.
There are
The
no
largest
absolutes.
fracture was 1,800 feet long.
Okay. So what I don't understand.
So this well is drilling 5,000.
I'm not sure what
deep.
this well is
Most
drilling.
wells-
I would. Yes, it's down. That's how
most
the shale is
wells
up here.
drill
Yes.
around 5,000 feet deep, so that's 30% of the depth that they created a fissure.
Right, I understand that, but that's also still in the that's still in the shale. That's still in the shale play, correct?
1,800 feet
porous.
is not in the shale play.
Again, I didn't read this. I read what the
Did you read
recap
the
of it,
study?
but I didn't read how big
Okay.
the fissure was. No, but again, that's not migrating back up to the surface.
It was
which
also
everyone's
one
concerned
well,
was.
and they drilled it really carefully.
And it's a. Did you know that it's a preliminary
Okay, so
study?
you're saying if it's done correctly, then there's not an issue. That's what you just said. No.
I
You said
said
they did it. You said they did it very carefully. So if there's not an issue,
I
so
said
if
they
they do
had
it,
a 2,000-foot fissure that came from that well.
That
So
was
you
done
didn't have
beyond
to
by the
factor
book. It was done really
okay,
carefully.
you said it was done Okay, so it was done carefully.
Carefully.
Okay, I don't.
Which means that
So
all
this
your
can be
parameters
done
are
right. So this can where you're saying that this can be obviously done correctly.
Oh, I have a question for you. Is there any water contamination from gas drilling in our county or any other counties in Pennsylvania?
DEP came in. Or what do you want to talk about? DIMIC. DEP came in. Tested
I want an
DIMIC.
answer.
We're
No.
gonna break for lunch.
No.
Yeah. There's no water say it again so we
No,
can
there's no
be
water
clear.
contamination after DEP studies and EP studies.
So there's no, say it again, Joe. No water
Because of
contamination
DEP
from
studies.
gas drilling. Is that what you're
Dear,
saying?
I've already repeated it once.
Can
I
you
don't
say
need
it
to do
again so it's clear because it's
Dear, I've
hard
already
for me to
repeated it
fathom
once.
it, what you're
Sorry,
actually
dear.
saying.
So,
I've already
folks,
repeated it
we
once. Anyone else have any more questions? You guys-
Nowhere in our state.
Just a comment on hydrostatic pressure. If that were the only source of pressure, I would totally agree with you. But then you have the same issue, say, with oil. If you have an oil deposit, right, that is, say, 5 miles down, there is hydrostatic pressure. Essentially, it's the same idea. How do you get it to rise up? But we yet have gushers because there's so many other sources of pressure when you get deep into the ground.
Right,
So,
that's because you're giving it the outlet, which is the wellbore.
I think
Right.
we need to
So
go.
everything comes
Yeah,
back
we
up the
said
wellbore.
that-
Yeah.
Joe, thanks for your time.
I'm gonna keep following you guys around. So
Oh, I know,
we'll
you
hang
like
out.
to
We'll-
follow
we'll
us
hang out
around.
the whole day, Vera. Don't worry.
Sure, you like to. And why do you want to tell them? Why do you follow us?
Because if you're like to put the, I like to get the. I think everyone should get the east side of this whole thing up here.
So do you
If
want to
get Vera's
tell?
side, I don't think Vera's side is extreme one-sided.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you some information. I think you should all digest it. And what I think you should really do, I'll give you more cards, but you should come back up and take an industry tour. Cabot
I
will-
told them to.
Oh, good. You should, because you
should get an
Vera
industry-
can't get on the drill sites, but Cabot will let you come right on the drill sites.
At some point. So you can give them the facts, right?
Absolutely, Vera.
You'll
You
give
give your
them-
side, I'll give my side, and they'll take it. And they'll,
I know. You
think
give
about
us
it.
the facts. You're a good one. That's for the drill cuttings, the drill mud. Tons, up to 1,000 tons of drill mud and cuttings that they have to dispose of.